Welcome back, viewers at home. Still in our Tuesday element of nothing but conversations around well-being and health. Now we have the privilege of welcoming Manke Marakalla, who is a passionate in men's mental health advocate and certified neuro-linguistic programming practitioner. Now, Manke's work focuses on breaking societal stigmas surrounding men's mental health and helping men who have endured the trauma of abuse, depression, and even rape reclaim their sense of self and strength. With a deep commitment to supporting those who feel unloved or unsupported, Manke has been instrumental in helping over 400 individuals, including 108 rape survivors, finding healing and empowerment. Manke, good evening and thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much. How are you doing?
I'm great, and how are you doing?
I'm fantastic.
Now, I want us to take a journey to who you are and the work that you're doing, because I think it's very seldom where we find ourselves having a conversation with a woman who helps men find their power, their voice, as well as their strength in a right way. Now, taking us back to NLP, which is neuro-linguistic programming, can you tell us a bit about what it is and what role it plays in assisting individuals?
Okay, so NLP practitioner, you are basically a certified professional of which you work with the brain, the language, and programming. So basically, neuro means that it's how your mind process information, and linguistic is how your language influence your behavior, your thoughts, and stuff like that. Programming is how your experience affect your behavior as well. So it does help you with trauma, it does help you with behavior, it does help you with grooming, it helps with actually a lot of things. But from my side, I work with men and boys. Wow. So it's all about creating a healthy environment for men and boys to be able to express their feelings, their thoughts, without the fear of being judged or stigmatized. So this is how I brought up this NLP thing into this mental health space.
Now, out of curiosity, what does that space look like? Because I think I'm more familiar with, groups of women having conversations, be it marital, financial, empowerment. But it's quite interesting to see a woman who finds herself around, the male figures who are now being vulnerable to their, circumstances or environments. What is that like?
Ah, man, at first it was not easy. To be honest, it was not easy because you can see that I'm a very small person.
Yeah.
So at first, a lot of people, they were like, nah, this man will never talk to you. Yeah. Who are you? Remember that there is this stigma in a black community. And we didn't know depression growing up. We didn't know a lot of things. We didn't know mental health. As long as you ate, you bathed, you didn't have to complain about anything. So for me, it was so hard, but I had to be smart about it. I've worked for like 2 clinics, so I taught myself a system when everybody was going in. I was like, I need to learn this and this. So I've learned to create codes online so that you can talk to me without me having to see your face or your identity or whatever. So I've spoken to over 1,000 of men. They've never seen me. They don't know I'm this small. So because a lot of men, they don't want to be seen as weak people. Yeah. So we had to create an online space for these men to be able to talk about their thoughts. They only know the voice. They've never seen the face. So I'm just winning them through the voice. But me saying, oh, no, today we're doing video, I'll never be too excited. Yeah. So we're talking about hidden abuse, financial abuse. We're talking about rape. We're talking about, everything that men goes through, unemployment. Remember that a lot of men are struggling with unemployment, and this is where a lot of them, they lose their dignity. We treat them so bad as women and as family members, as parents, as whoever. So yeah, we every Mondays, it's for men. I do individual sessions. I call them, all of them, and we engage. It's a very nice platform.
Yeah. Now, Manke, in my head, when you're sitting down and you're thinking of different career fields, I could literally go on and not ever picture myself getting to the idea of neuro-linguistic programming. For you, what brought you there, and exactly what makes you now want to, draw all your attention and focus on personal development as well as mental health? And I believe this is all for men.
Yeah, I think I never planned it. I didn't choose it. I started first as a counselor. So I think I spent like 5 years working as a counselor. I started working when I was very young. I was very passionate about youth and everything, and men as well. So, and then later on, I wanted to open a practice. I was like, you know what, I'm going to look for a shortcut. I'm going to look for a shortcut. I don't like school. I'm going to look for a shortcut. And somebody said, hey, there's NLP. I said, please do not explain to me how does it work. As long as I'm going to be a practitioner, I'm taking it. So I took NLP and I was so amazed. And I was like, damn, you know, this is what I've been looking for. And I can actually do wonders. And for men, it's because there are a lot of platforms for women. There is only one eye in the world that is only looking at one side of life. It looks at what women do to men, but the opposite, it tends to be a blind eye. I've seen a lot of men struggling. I've seen how women abuse men. I've seen how we are so unfair to this men. We have unnecessary expectations towards men. We have desires that we can't even afford them ourselves, but we want this man to just afford. So I think I've decided that I want to look out for this man and I will never look back. And along this journey, I've made a lot of enemies, women-wise. They don't love me. But I've chosen this. It has chosen me. And I'm going to be a whistleblower. I don't know until what time. So men's mental health and growth, it's amazing, man. I've met a lot of 100 men who are not working currently. I think this year we're sitting over 1,000 suicidal notes. And it's something that I don't have to be passionate about. It's something that is happening. It's actually reality. You wake up every day, you get a suicidal note. I turn off my data. When I come back, I get 20 or more. You know, so it's something that nobody has to be passionate about. It's something that it has to be done. And unfortunately, it came to me.
And you just took it away.
Yeah.
No, Manke, you know, I really love the fact that you are highlighting such important aspects, like, you know, the male figures are always sort of, you know, disregarded in that sense. I mean, even a mom giving birth to the son, they already are, you know, having those fears surrounding them. Now, in terms of assisting individuals, and I think in this conversation, we're all about men's health and mental health. In terms of looking at, you know, the ideas of dealing with or people struggling with traumas as well as emotional challenges, what would you say are some of the foundational techniques that you use as an NLP to best, you know, assist them?
Okay, first and foremost, I want to say the world will be a better place if we fix this man, because they're leaders, because they're our husbands, they're our boyfriends, they're our sons. We can't keep on saying men are trash, but every day you wake up to one trash. It doesn't make sense. Every day you want to depend on this trash. It doesn't make sense. You know, you get girlfriend allowance from this trash. It doesn't make sense. So there is this NLP tools. I think I use a lot of them. But then the tricky part is that I use a vernacular language. Ke tswa Pitori. So ka over. So ko Pitori ra wantara. Ko Pitori ra spraga ra over. So yeah, I use a language that actually accommodate men. I don't come with this fancy thing. I'm like, no, it's a say. Exactly.
To best describe it.
So how say na go mojito over na ke re o bethile thopo yintshang, and then or mfanaka anyiwa. You see, so yeah, it's always like that. So I turn these techniques to these vernac things, and then also I use music, and we just I think language and music. That's it. Language and music.
Now, Manke, in our initial starting of the conversation, you said that, you know what, they said NLP, you went for it. Now, being experienced as you are in the, you know, practice of NLP, I want to know from you, can anybody delve into this phase of a career, or it's something that needs someone with the mind and approach for it, or is there a way of actually finding your footing to it? I just want to hear your insight, because I'm sure there's someone watching and saying, I also want to be a solution like Manke.
I think it's not a matter of being an A student or whatever. I was never an A student. I'm not book smart. I just I just go there and say I'll figure it out. But anyone who's more concerned about their growth first, not the client. I think I was more concerned about my growth. I was like, I want to be somebody in life and I want to make a difference. And I told myself that I'm not going to be a black girl who will make it because she comes from a poor family. I'm going to make it and I have to make it big. But NLP for me, it worked out first for my own personal growth. I had a lot of healing to do, more especially about poverty and finances. So I had to look back and say, you know what, Manke, you need first to heal yourself. I didn't have a relationship with money growing up. You know, I was just on survival. But now that I can earn, I was like, how can we fix you first as a person so that you can fill up first a cup and then go outside? So for somebody who's out there and who wants to say, you know what, I can be an NLP practitioner, I'm saying go for it. But it will clean you first before it cleans others. Yeah. That's the most beautiful part about NLP. So I'm saying go for it. It's one of the best careers that will look out for you.
Now, Manke, still on the theme of overcoming limiting beliefs, I want to understand from you in terms of, when we are looking at breaking barriers that limit us, that hold us back, how do we go about that? How do we even start? Because, a lot of times, I think earlier in the conversation, we were talking about, there's so much that a person wants to do. As much as, and I think in this context, men want to be better and they want to also be seen in the very positive light. But it's quite hard when you come home to that loved partner of yours who keeps on bringing you back to that space mentally. How does one even start to navigate against such?
I'd say, how about we remove social media first?
Okay.
Our parents, they grew up with respect, dignity, and everything because they didn't get, or rather they didn't have access to a lot of opinions outside. The only opinion they had was the one at home. And at school and at church. But us now, we have a lot of opinions out there on social media. When somebody says, yeah, men are trash, we say, yeah. We don't know why they're saying that. We don't know. We actually don't know. So I think let us first remove social media. Yeah. Let us bring religion. Let us bring a good educational system that favors everyone, not the high or the A's or the whatever. Let us change the system out through that way. And also, I think believing in yourself as an individual, irrespective of your background, irrespective of your gender, irrespective of your color. It's not a matter of a color or age or whatever. My mentor taught me something, said, one thing about us white people is that we are not scared to build up a family from the start. He said a lot of us white people, we are not even related, but we decided to be family. We decided to build a legacy. How about even us as black people, that we rotate our money and say, you know what, let us build a generational wealth. Yeah. So it started with, it should start with us. It should start with social media. Let us remove social media. Who are you when you log out? What do you believe in? I think we are different people, or we become different people when we are online. We want to have opinions in things that we don't even know. Other people's life, we seen and then go back online and saying, but then why do you do this? Yeah. But I did it 2 hours ago and it was fine. So I'm saying stop listening to people who don't know you, who don't know where you're coming from, who don't know your beliefs. There were people who told me that poverty runs in the family. I told them, now this is where it has to run out with me. I can't be part of that. So you need to believe in your madness. And as for me, my background does not allow me to be here. I come from a very extremely...
Imagine that.
But I told myself, I'm not going to be that black girl who said, no. I decided to believe in myself. And
with that being said, what would you say are the most common, reoccurrences when it comes to those barriers that hinder personal development as well as that of emotional well-being? Because I know you mentioned social media, and I believe that is so true. And I just want to know from you, what are some of the other common elements that really speak against personal development and emotional well-being?
I think our parents, they contribute. For me to be here, I have a supportive structure at home. The time I was starting my company, I remember my stepfather was like, no, let us remove some beds here so that you can have a call center. I do events, they show up. I do everything, they show up. Now they show up. So they never told me like go to school, get good grades, and find a good company to work for. They knew that I can start that good company and I can employ other people. So I think there are other people out there who are going through these things with their parents. They want them to go to 9 to 5. It's not meant for you. They want them to do this. It's not meant for you. So I think parents, they don't believe in us. They just believe in their old system that, no, you can't be a black woman and be a CEO. I remember this other time, I don't remember which career I was doing, and they asked us, what do you want to be in life? I said, I want to be a CEO. They said, no, but you need to be a princess. I said, I don't want to be a princess. I want to be a CEO. But now you're just a girl.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong about that. So I think our parents, the teachers, you know, it's bad for somebody who comes from rural areas.
Now, Manke, you are dynamite, and I'm gonna close off with a very loaded question, and I think the soft one will be where to from here, and just key pointers that we can start looking out for as women in best catering and fostering environments that add to the mental well-being of the men.
I think from here, we're planning to have practice in all provinces. So far, we have a relationship with Canada, Botswana, and other countries. But now it's us saying, now we bring it home, And I think my dream is to have a practice in every province in South Africa. So everywhere you go, you'll see, men are not trash, work for your own money. I'll be the one behind that. And as women, I'd say that stop depending on men. Men and salaries are under pressure. Go there, work for your money, nobody owes you anything. These men are going through a lot. Imagine right now there are a lot of men here, they are not home, they left their homes, they left their kids, they left their family for them to get the bread. And month end, you want to come and say, yeah, Indodamas, what about your father? Go back home and bring your expectations.
Oh my God.
Go back home. This man, they don't owe you anything. Go back home and heal your poverty trauma. A lot of us black women, we have poverty trauma. And nobody in this country helps a black woman like a black man. A lot of these black men, they've taken us out of poverty. I am here today because there were a lot of men who contributed. I had mentors. I had this. And now I want to be here and say, yeah, women should be given money for what? You are not handicapped, are you? As a woman, go there, work for your own money, and it will help us to reduce gender-based violence. These men, they're abusing us because they are so entitled. They think they own us. So we can fight the stigma as well. Men don't owe us anything. Go out there and work for your own money.
Manke, I want to get that last closing. You said heal your poverty
Trauma.
Heal your poverty trauma. Manke, thank you so much for coming in and giving us a perspective where we are accountable as women. At the same time, we now can embark on a new role in assisting to help the men heal. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Viewers at home, that was Manke Marakalla, if I get it wrong, sharing in on her role as a neuro-linguistic programming practitioner and how we can assist in breaking down those statements that says men are trash. But that's where we close it off for now. Let's head over to an ad break. See you when I come back.